was thinking this morning as I stood outside, greeting some of you who are returning, and the seniors, for whom many I shook your hands and said, this is your last first day. But it isn't really, because next year you will have the first day of school somewhere else, maybe far away. This year at SEM, as you look around the room, you see that we are packed solid. That, in fact, more than half of the faculty had to go up to the upper level in order to find any place, not just to stand, because there's no room at all in the back of the school. We have been working all the time that I have been at SEM, and this is my 7th year, for a goal of 200 students. And this year, circumstances collided, and we have 209 students attending SEM. It's a remarkable place to be. I hope all of you know what a special school you attend. SEM has a long history, a long and glorious history. SEM educated women at a time when girls didn't always have college preparatory level education. Many girls were denied that. For those who attended SEM, high expectations and high standards were set. And girls were expected to achieve at their best levels across the board in academic subjects and in extracurricular activities. And that is still true today. You attend a great school, and we expect greatness of every single one of you. And we expect that because we know that you have it in here and in here. When I look around the room today, I know that on this first day of school, you come with great hopes and great expectations. You come because you want to take advantage of every opportunity that's out there. You want to explore new things. You want to make new friends. I hope this year, each of you can manage to have a few of those dreams come true at the very highest level. What I want to assure you is that as head of school, I will do my part to make sure that you have a chance to achieve your dreams, to reach your goals. So come and let me know if there are things standing in your way. Around the back of the room and upstairs, we have some of the best teachers possible to have for secondary school education. I am so pleased to be working with every single one of you as colleagues. I know that they too have dreams for each of you, just as they have their own dreams for teaching the very best courses they can teach, for inspiring you to get excited about the material that excites them, whether it's algebra or calculus, biology or English. They want you to come away with excitement for learning that will carry beyond these walls. Every year I say to the assembled students, we can't know, we adults, what is in your future. What we can know is that you need rock-solid preparation so that whatever happens out there in the world, you will be ready to achieve it. So welcome to Buffalo Seminary for the 2013-14 school year. May it be the best year yet for each one of you students and for each of the adults in this room. I hope that all of you set high goals and that you march forward to achieve those goals at the very best level this year. It is truly an exciting year. I wanted to give you a few numbers just to let you know what this school looks like this year. As I said before, we have 209 students. 86 of those students have never been at SEM before, are new to SEM. Those students include 52 freshmen. There are 41 total sophomores, and 7 of them are new. The junior class is sort of extraordinarily large at 67, and 17 of them are new. There are 43 seniors, and 4 seniors are new. 16 of the new students are residential students, and they live in 4 houses near the school. And I hope for all of you day students, you have a chance to visit them in their homes and see what's going on in our residence halls. Our new students come this year from 35 different schools, And that's an extraordinary boost. Usually it's been closer to 20 or 22 last year. But 35 different schools, so many, many different backgrounds. This is an extraordinarily diverse community. You may not always appreciate that, but as you look around the room, I hope you recognize that everyone in this room comes from very different backgrounds, different religious faiths, different socioeconomic backgrounds, different races. And SEM's diversity is one of the best things about this school, because we all know that we are part of a larger world that is incredibly diverse, and you are getting a head start by getting to know so many different people. This year, there are 11 new faculty and staff members so far, and we have at least 2 positions still to hire. So with the 86 students and 11 new faculty, 38% of this school is new this year. So we have a lot of work to do to live up to those expectations that we set and to set the tone, tenor, and spirit of this community. As I look around the room today, I know what a great group is assembled and that we're off to a terrific start. So as I stood outside this morning, I was feeling very grateful that once again, as a teacher and educator, I get to start over. It is a new year. That's a pretty special place to be. Some of your parents were wishing, I could tell, and they even said so as they drove away. They may not be in a career that gives them a new beginning every year. So it's a new start. Make the best of it. Go forward and be excited and energetic. It's such a pleasure and a privilege to welcome you to this school year. This morning, we have an extraordinary convocation speaker. As many of you know, the Buffalo News publishes 30 Under 30, some extraordinary young people. And this morning, it's my privilege to welcome Robin Hace, who is Buffalo Seminary class of 2002. She is the program and event manager at Carly's Club at Roswell Park Cancer Institute. For those who don't know, Carly's Club for Kids and Cancer Research in Western New York exists to offer support programs to make life more manageable for children diagnosed with cancer and for their families. They raise funds for the pediatric cancer research, and they work hard to make sure those families are comfortable in a very difficult time. It's my pleasure to introduce Robin Hace as our convocation speaker.
Good morning, everybody. As cliche as it sounds, I do really feel like it was just yesterday that I was sitting where you are today, getting ready for a new school year, wondering what my classes would be like, how I would fare with homework, tests, and papers. And in the blink of an eye, it's more than 10 years later, and I feel blessed with the opportunity to be here today and to reflect back on the decade past. I'd like to thank Jody Douglass and the board for inviting me to join you as you embark on your new academic year. Carly Collard-Catone, founder of Carly's Club at Roswell Park, was only 8 years old when her dream of starting an organization to help other kids battling cancer became a reality. She had already lost both of her biological parents to cancer just a few years apart from one another, and then she herself was diagnosed with an aggressive form of brain cancer. Despite hundreds of days in the hospital with chemotherapy, radiation, and an endless rotation of doctors and nurses, Carly was determined throughout her entire struggle to channel her creativity, her energy, and her spirit into something that could make an impact on other kids dealing with a cancer diagnosis. She received such an outpouring of support and compassion from friends and families, neighbors, and even people that she didn't know, that she felt compelled to share her wealth of love and support with other kids who may not have had the care network that she had. And yet, after she shared her extra toys and her teddy bears, she realized that all the gifts in the world wouldn't end her fight. What she really needed was a cure. Carly was only able to witness her budding organization in its infancy as she lost her courageous fight against her cancer when she was 11 years old just months after Roswell Park Cancer Institute assumed Carly's Club as its sole pediatric and fundraising program entity. Carly was the driving force, the visionary leader, and the inspiration behind a lasting legacy at Roswell Park. Today, Carly's Club exists to support pediatric cancer patients and their families in the exact way Carly imagined, by funding critical research, relentlessly seeking that cure Carly so desperately hoped for, and offering year-round support programs to meet Roswell Park's youngest patients' emotional and social needs as they journey through their cancer diagnosis. Hundreds of patients and families are served each year by Carly's Club, and we provide that safety net where no one is left behind or falls through the cracks. We are always there for them, to lean on, to cry with, and to share the simple delights of childhood amidst a traumatic and life-altering challenge. So why did I share this story with you today? I did so because Carly, whom I never had the privilege to meet, and her organization not only taught me great lessons, developed my passion, and gave me inspiration, but also made me realize how much I rely on the foundation I built as a Buffalo Seminary student. I recognize that SEM taught me to harness the skills I need to succeed and to exemplify the character traits that make a career path, not just a job, all of which I began to develop during high school. All those things combined allowed me to move forward every day with courage and confidence in myself. And today I'd like to share with you some of the lessons I've learned in hopes that you'll be able to use them in your everyday life, and especially as you look ahead to a new year of opportunities and enrichment at SEM. 8 years old, younger than all of us in the room today, Carly was drastically young to have had the vision for Carly's Club. And when I first entered the professional working world, there were many times that I reluctantly revealed my age to other business professionals because I was greeted in return with, "Oh, you're just a baby," or, "My goodness, I was in high school when you were born." I cringed at those reactions, and I also secretly had all of these thoughts of these fantastically sarcastic comments that I could spit right back at them. And I certainly won't tell you what those comments were, and I certainly won't suggest that you say any of them ever. But I once was embarrassed of my age, and I did wince at those comments because for many people the word young produces negative connotations of being immature, inexperienced, unknowledgeable, or undeserving of respect given to more seasoned professionals. For Carly, her age never inhibited her belief that she could make a difference or impact the lives of others in her community. And it shouldn't for you either, because age does not have to correlate with ability. I realize that being young doesn't mean that I don't have anything to bring to the table. In fact, I think it is the opposite. Being young means you have a fresh perspective and new ideas. You might be looking at the same old problem in a brand new way. And each of you is capable of handling the challenges and obstacles that will inevitably greet you, both in life and academically this year. You would not be here today if you weren't. So choose to positively influence others, your school, or your community, whether it is big or small. No matter what your age, your voice, your opinions, and your thoughts have value and they matter. You never know whether a seemingly small idea, at whatever age you might be, could turn into something incredible, like Carly's. And although I might still have some sarcastic comments swirling in my head when I receive a "you're so young" comment in the business world, now I just think of them as compliments, and I reply with, "You know it, thanks." All that being said, just because you are capable doesn't mean things will come easy to you. I overcame those negative connotations and struggles of the young stereotype to prove that I deserve to be treated just like any other professional, by knowing how to present myself confidently and also working really hard. After STEM, I headed south to the University of Richmond, where I majored in leadership studies. Was that a smart decision? Absolutely. Because it served as a gateway major for me, meaning I knew I would be able to apply leadership theories and practices to any job in any field, particularly because I truly had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. But choosing that as my major also meant I walked into Carly's Club with zero fundraising background or experience. So why did they hire me? One of the reasons I can attribute directly back to communications class at SEM, a requirement for all students at the time. The smallest details that I may have thought were silly when learning them made all the difference. I understood posture, speaking slowly and deliberately, and how to effectively convey my thoughts with meaning. Not only did I learn these things, but all of the teachers and faculty expected that I execute what I learned on a daily basis at school. It was natural and fairly common to have an extensive, intellectual, adult conversation with a faculty member after class ended. As STEM students, we are held to a higher standard, and although I was a student coming to learn from my teachers, I was given the opportunity to assert myself as an equal. Understanding my expectations and seeing the confidence my teachers had in me allowed my self-confidence to grow. So I walked into that interview, sat upright in the chair, answered their questions with the utmost confidence, and with no fundraising experience, landed the job because I had impressed them with the way I presented myself and my promise to work tirelessly for Carly's cause. I made sure to follow through on that promise. When I first began my job with Carly's Club, I took time to take formal tours of the Institute, which is not required of new employees. These tours are intended to engage current and future donors to give them an insider's perspective of a day in the life at Roswell Park, whether it is a visit to a researcher in his lab, or a robotic surgeon who can show off her new technique, or a radiation technician offering a look into the machine that he operates to treat a tumor with pinpoint accuracy. Point being, I made an extra effort to spend additional time learning about the hospital and its happenings in order for me to feel confident answering questions about Roswell or making presentations in the community. I wanted to be the best and most knowledgeable representative of Roswell Park and Carly's Club that I could be. I was given my most memorable piece of advice early on in my career. She told me, "You want to position yourself and believe in yourself in such a way that makes people think you are the executive director of your organization, no matter where you are on the organizational totem pole." I took that suggestion to heart and held it close as I worked to expand and grow my career. I made sacrifices in my personal life to go above and beyond my job. I spent extra time getting to know patients and understanding their needs from our support resources. Additionally, I researched out-of-state organizations similar to Carly's Club to gain as much information as I could about fundraising in general and how other nonprofits marketed and fundraised to their audiences. I wanted to be ahead of the game about what types of programs and events were up and coming. I wanted to be on the leading edge of learning something new. I took initiative to start projects to improve and update our services and programs, even when others thought that updates or changes were unnecessary. I thought outside of the box, and I did so because I knew how hard Carly worked to start her organization and how determined she was to make it a success. I never want to let her down. I want her to be proud of the steps we have taken to enhance her namesake organization after she could no longer take those steps herself. As a STEM student, I learned that the results I received are directly related to the efforts I put forth. Choose to excel and find something that inspires you to work harder than everyone else. You'll find success and satisfaction in you and your achievements. That great piece of advice turned into one of the best compliments I've ever received. A business professional outside of my organization introduced me to his colleague, and while untrue, said, "This is Robin Hace. She runs all the events at Roswell." And I thought to myself, yes sir, yes I do. I must admit, that made me truly proud, because as much as I love what I do and working for Carly's Club, it isn't always easy. It is emotionally draining. Becoming ingrained in patients' lives because they spend so many days at the hospital, learning their interests, talents, and unique characteristics, and then witnessing the pain they have to endure and their ever-present fear of losing their cancer battles. It is depressing and defeating. And yet, it never ceases to amaze me the amount of courage they show on a daily basis, more than I will ever have or know. They are so worried and desperate to be normal kids that they brave the looks and stares they might receive by having a bald head and wearing a mask when they go out in public for a Carly's Club event. They stand up to the nausea and the other side effects of chemotherapy. They smile in the face of all of their challenges. What's more, doing so seems effortless for them. They appreciate and cherish all the fun little moments that might pass by the rest of us. They meet the biggest challenge of their life head-on, courage coming quickly and easily to them because they figured it out. It's the only option they care to have. Seeing this perspective played out every day in front of me makes it easy for me to hold my Harley's Club members as inspiration for courage for myself, courage to continue working on their behalf, courage to be a voice of need for them while they focus on their task at hand. Think of them when you encounter a situation that overwhelms you. Draw inspiration and courage from others to leap over that hurdle, and then be that inspiration and courage for others. What did I take away from my time at SEM? Me, the person I started to become. This is the time to look inside yourself and start to pave the path of who you are. The most meaningful part of my learning experience here was beyond the classroom walls, but by all means exceed within those walls too. My foundation was built here, and from here I sought a path that exemplified what I learned and exposed a deeper meaning for my life. I am still building my story. Yours starts today. Thank you, and best wishes for everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 162nd school year of Buffalo Seminary. SEM girls are proud of their school, proud of their accomplishments, and we welcome all of our new sisters and faculty. It is an honor to be here with all of you. I can already tell that this is going to be an incredible year. We have many new faces here, but even though our school has grown, I know that we are going to be able to maintain a close-knit and caring community. SEM is truly a school unlike no other. As students, we are fortunate to have a say in decisions that affect us. One thing that is special about SEM is that we are given countless opportunities to try new things, have new experiences, and meet all sorts of new and interesting people. For both new and returning students, now is the time to make the most of your days here. This school has definitely tested me in all aspects, but instead of breaking my spirit, it has only reaffirmed my belief that I am ready to handle any challenge that I may encounter. The most important lesson that I have taken away from my past 3 years here is that the things you want most in life do not come easily. Instead, you must work hard to attain them. Sometimes this means failing before you reach your goal, but you must persevere in order to succeed. I can honestly say that SEM has impacted my life greatly. This school has given me the tools I need to succeed and has shaped me into the best possible version of myself. I know that in time, you will feel the same way as well. Charlotte Whitten was the first female mayor of my hometown, Ottawa, Canada. 50 years ago, she said, "Whatever women do, they must do twice as well as men in order to be thought half as good." Luckily, this is not difficult for us. I think that Charlotte Whitten should have gone to school here. But then again, this place is not just a school, it is a home. It is our home. So to all of you, I say, welcome home. Thank you.